Hello! Thank you so much for joining me today. I am in Portland, Maine, South Portland in specific, around Cape Elizabeth. It is beautiful. The weather is perfect. Uh, as we're coming into spring, everything's kind of just blooming again. It's just magic here. It's really, really, really nice. I'm happy to share it with you. For today's gentle practice, we're going to be getting into all the good stuff. In particular, we're going to be doing some heart openers, some things for shoulders, neck, where we hold a lot of that heavy, sticky, crunchy tension. So for today's practice, we will be utilizing 2 blocks and a strap. Now, with that strap, we're going to be utilizing it a little bit differently than we have in the past. We're going to be utilizing it kind of more for a self-massage. So if you don't have a strap, I do recommend either a belt or scarf or something that's going to be a little bit more definitive in where it's going to apply pressure. But you'll see kind of when we get there, see what you got, see what you have. Now, before we get started, as far as the blocks go, we are going to be finishing our practice in a supported fish pose. Now, this is one of my very, very, very favorite poses. It can be very intense, so there's multiple ways we can do that. I want to talk to you about it and show you it, so that way when we get there, you don't have to like get out of your relaxation and figure out what I'm talking about. So with our blocks, if we don't have blocks, we can use rolled up towels. You will get the most out of this with blocks, but again, we do what we can with what we have. So when we set up for our supported fish, again, this is going to be the last thing that we do, but we're going to take 1 block on the medium setting. So someone once told me this is baby bear, mama bear, papa bear. Cute thing, easy to remember, but lowest setting, medium setting, highest setting. So I take this one here on the medium setting. I keep that lengthwise with the back of my mat. And then I set this up like a T. Now, if you notice, I've left a little bit of a gap here. And this is where my neck is going to go because we're going to end up lining the base of this block up right with the center of our back. So you think of it right about the middle of the rib cage, right around the bra line if you have one. And when we're lining that up, now, mind you, this is the most intense version. So if you get here, if you try this with me and this is too intense, flip both blocks down. Just take less. It's all right. So then having this here, we're going to then line this up with the spine. So finding that center of your back, that bra line right in the middle of the ribs, pressing that in, slowly get here. I'm not saying I want you to start here now. This is a lot, but I want you to watch. So having this, I got a good release there. Take the other block under your head. And then once we get here, this might feel very scary, very intense. We want to breathe. Think about opening the ribs. The hands could be down by the sides. You could have the elbows tucked up. You have options though. Arms could be out to the side. You could have the arms up overhead. You could cactus the arms and float them. You could reach for elbows up over the head. Hoo, 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 hoo. That's the most intense. I love it though. Another option is if you have that nagging pain between the shoulder blades, Frankenstein the arms. So reach the fingertips up and then you'll drape the shoulders down. So let that weight press down and you can kind of find little wiggles, little movement. But I'll reiterate that all when we get there. I just like to line this up so that way you have an idea of where we're going when we get there. You won't have to totally pay attention to what I'm talking about. You'll have a slightly better idea. And when you are ready, we're going to get started. In a tabletop. Hands below shoulders, knees under hips. Spread the fingers wide. Let the head hang heavy. Tuck the toes under. Rock the hips from side to side. Start to get here with me. Bring the breath in deeper. Let the head hang heavy. So we're going to shift the weight around. Guiding the tail back. Body presses up and to the right, all the way forward, and then out and to the left. Full circles with the body. Shift the weight between the hands and the knees. Breathe. Taking these shifts nice and slow. Inhaling deeper, exhaling slow. We're not in any rush. We're not in any hurry. Spread the fingers a little bit wider. Switch directions of these circles. Guide the body around in the opposite way. Press as far in every direction as feels good. taking your time to not only arrive onto your mat physically, but mentally, energetically, emotionally. Bring yourself entirely here, every part of yourself. The parts you have to hide from others. And what I mean hide, I mean like when we're working stuff, you can't always be 100% authentic. Sometimes we have to put on faces to get through our day-to-day, even just to make our lives easier. Come back into center with me. Drop down onto the forearms. Palms come to touch, hands come to prayer. Have those thumbs stick up as we then rest the third eye onto the thumbs. Maybe hook right under the eyebrows. Drop the heart down, let the shoulder blades press together. You can find an arch in the back, drop the belly, keep the toes tucked under. Big deep breaths. Sigh it away. Take a few more of these cleansing breaths. As we then take the gaze to the right, bring the thumbs on to the left temple, rest the head heavy. Again, drop the heart down, press the shoulder blades together, really collapse in the body. Let it flop. Let the head be heavy. If this is a little intense in the pressure point along the temples, you can always stack the fist and rest the side of the head. Turning that head to the right, slightly stretching the neck. Take 2 breaths with me. Sigh it out. Cleanse the stagnant breath. Gently bring the head back into center. 1 breath here. Then take the gaze to the left, taking the right temple onto the stacked fist or onto the thumbs. 2 big belly breaths. Sigh them away. Soften the brows. Start to relax the jaw. So we slowly bring the head back into center. Rock the head gently from side to side, warming up the neck, wiggle out the jaw. Staying with deeper breaths than usual, maybe a deeper breath that's casual or comfortable, a more formal breath. Be intentional. Head comes back into center. Walk the hands back below the shoulders. Roll through the shoulders. Press the shoulder blades together. Draw them down the spine as you lengthen the neck. Pulling those shoulder blades apart. Tucking that chin as we do so. Finding these rolls intentionally. Notice if we can change the direction and the eye of the elbow. So we thank these shoulders. Thank these wrists. Thank these hands. Thank each one of the fingers. Honoring all that the arms do, all the strength they carry, these shoulders. Thanking the shoulders and the weight of the world they hold for us. All of our stress, all of our worries. Meet me back into center. Neck is long. Pull the shoulder blades apart. Keeping that chin parallel to the chest, draw the right ear to the right shoulder. So keeping that spine long, turning the head. Keeping the gaze down towards the mat. Inhale back to center. Exhaling the left ear to the left shoulder. Think about lengthening the right side of the neck. So keep the shoulders pressed down. Neck is long. Coming back into center. We're going to pair that with breath. Inhale, center. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. And then when you're done with that, bring the chin down to the chest. Let the head hang heavy. 1 whole breath. Sigh it out with me. As we take the back of the hand to the mat, 1 hand at a time here. Just lightly press the back of the hand down into the mat. Not putting the full weight on it, but lengthening the top of that forearm. Wiggle through the fingers. Again, thanking these hands. Thank the wrists, all of the work these hands do. Switching hands when you're ready, taking the back of the right hand to the mat. Again, just lightly pressing in. Play around with it. Maybe put a little bit more weight into it. Maybe lean the glutes back towards the heels. Wiggle through the fingers. See if you can make a fist and then open it up wide. Bring it back into center. We're going to take both fingertips to face the wide edges of the mat. Wrists come in to face one another. Fingers spread wide. Rock back and forth. Now here we're taking this time to open up the wrists 360. Every side of the wrists. Because if we think about it, if the shoulders are tight, it's going to borrow from the arms. If the arms are tight, it borrows from the wrists. If the wrists are tight, it borrows from the hands, the palms. If the palms are tight, it borrows from the fingers. And that's the end of the road. So that's why sometimes when we age, the fingers can start to curl in, but we have to keep everything open, everything communicating. As we then, if it's in our practice, take the fingertips to face towards the knees. Flip the wrists forward. Now, if this feels like a lot, walk the hands closer to the knees, or just do one hand at a time. But with the fingers spread wide, rock from side to side, back and forth, bring in circles. Start to move intuitively, noticing what your body needs. This here in particular is very valuable if you do a lot of computer work, if you do a lot of driving, if you do a lot of texting, aka if you are a person in this century. Then slowly shake out both the wrists, come to standing on the knees, shake that out. Dramatic shakes, roll them around, let the wrists flop. And when you're ready, we're going to come to standing on the knees. We have the option to keep the toes tucked under, or you can lay the tops of the feet down. Option to keep the hips lifted. If it feels good, sit back onto the heels. If you like the pressure of sitting back towards the heels, but it feels like a lot for the knees or for the hips, we can bring a block blanket under the glutes. Giving yourself something to sit on, taking a little bit of that pressure off. Draw the shoulders down and back. Lengthen from behind the ears. Plant the hands down on the thighs. Find a closed eyes or a soft gaze to the ground as you just breathe. Filling the lungs deeper. Exhaling a little slow. Making those exhales a little bit slower than the inhales. Make them take a little bit long. Letting the body know it's safe. When we come into these big these big heart openers, it's valuable and important for the body to know it is safe, it is loved, it is protected. So let that be our mantra for today's practice. When things feel scary, when things feel unsure, you are safe. You are loved. You are protected. So you say that to yourself. I am safe. I am loved. I am protected. Keeping those exhales slow and the inhales full. Feeling free to switch the feet at any point. So if sitting on the tops of the feet becomes a bit much, tuck the toes under. If that becomes too much, switch it. Stay with what your body needs as we shine the palms forward down by the sides. Spread the fingers wide. Opening the shoulders, opening the heart, reaching the fingertips down. Stay with your breath. Inhale, sweep the arms up and wide. Bring the palms to touch. On the exhale, pull the hands down to heart center. Drawing the shoulders down and back, tuck the elbows. Find your center here. Soften the face. See what it means to just be here with your body. Letting go of all other thoughts in the mind, all other worries or stresses. So we use these cleansing breaths, these cleansing movements, pairing the movement with the breath. Release the hands down to the side, shine the palms forward. Inhale, scoop it up and wide, palms come to touch. Exhale, pull it through into your heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up and wide. Exhale, hands into your heart. Stay with it. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, scoop up all of your abundance, everything that is your highest good. Exhale, bring it into your heart. Relieve you of anything else. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, scoop it a little wider. Fingers stay spread wide. Exhale, bring it in. One more. Inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. Rearrange the feet if we need. Staying with that breath. That warm up for the shoulders was intentional. Release the hands down to the side. We're going to interlace the fingers behind the back. Press the palms together. Pull that fist down towards the mat. Open the shoulders. Now, if the hands don't connect here, use the strap to bridge the gap. Holding on to either end of the strap as close as feels good to where we can still open the heart. Pull the fist down. Start to open the solar plexus. This is right here in the center of the belly. Opening the belly, lengthening the front side body. Lengthen now from behind the ears. That means we tuck the chin. Breathe. Breathing into that chest again as it feels scary. I am safe. I am loved. I am protected. Breathing our mantra into our heart, letting the muscles of the chest open and soften. Opening your heart to receiving love as we then find circles in the neck, nice and slow. Guide the head around in every direction. These could be big circles, these could be small circles, these could be relatively fast circles or slow. The slower you go, the deeper we breathe, the more we get to intentionally understand ourselves, our bodies. As we take the awareness in, our pratyahara, our internal meditation, starting to observe yourself from the inside out. 2 more breaths in this direction. So we then switch directions of the circles, keeping the full breath. Still opening the heart. Maybe taking a little slower in the areas that need more time. Just breathe. Offer the body 2 more breaths into these rotations in this direction. You then meet back in center, roll the shoulders down and back. 1 more inhale, lift the heart, lift the chin, lift the chest. Exhale, slowly release, shake out the arms. Again, switch the feet if we need. I know we're building a lot of heat in these feet, no matter which way you do it. Oh, it feels good. Shake out the arms, shake out the wrists. Let some of that stagnant energy go. Really flick out the hands. If you find a lot extra, gather it up like it's energetic sludge and get it off. So we then take the hands out in front of us. Fingertips face away, palms face one another. We're going to tuck the thumbs in, bringing the 4 fingers to wrap that thumb. So as you see, I have those 4 fingers wrapped into my thumb is tucked nice and tight, so grabbing onto that thumb. As we then take the shoulder blades back and together, draw them down the spine, tuck the elbows in. Now, if this feels like a lot, we can bring the elbows in and just extend one at a time. But if you can have those arms out comfortably for the shoulders, keep the shoulder blades down and back, engage the core just a little bit, create some heat. As we then, one at a time, pull the fist down, pulling down on the thumb, back and forth. Rocking it around, maybe both thumbs at the same time. I like to do one at a time. Maybe you want to find a little hang time as you pull the thumb down. Breathe. As we then tuck the elbows in, keep those thumbs tucked in, and find circles with the wrists. Ooh, this is tight. Breathe into it. Maybe there's one area you notice that is extra, extra tight. Rock with it. Sit with it. Breathe into it. Find those full circles if you choose. Close the eyes. It'll help bring the awareness in. Because we're not worried about physically what we look like doing this. We're interested in how it feels inside, how we can help ourselves. What does our body need? Then when you're ready, inhale the arms out and wide. Keep those thumbs tucked. Tuck those shoulder blades in together. Draw the shoulders down. So we're holding the shoulders down in the sockets. Rock the thumbs, just like we did before. Might feel a little bit awkward. Maybe you want to do one and then the other. Find full circles. Keep those thumbs tucked. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, pull them forward and down. Frankenstein arms once again. Pull those thumbs down, down, down till we pull the hands all the way down. Keep those thumbs tucked. We're pulling the thumbs all the way behind us. Ski-like arms all the way up to the sky. One more inhale, open the heart. And exhale, slowly release. Ooh, shake out those hands. Ooh, notice what's different. Wiggle out the fingers. Take the fingers wide. Roll the wrists. So this might look a little funny in particular, but roll those wrists around. Fingers spread wide. Let that energy back in, and then shake it out. Bringing the palms to touch. Take 2 breaths with me here. Feel the resonance of each hand pressing into the other, the warmth we created. As we then shift the body forward back to tabletop, now we get some love for those feet. We warmed them up intentionally. Lifting the feet off the mat, pivoting on the knees, rock the feet from side to side. Let them flop. So we're shaking them from side to side, shaking them out. And then begin to scrunch the toes all the way in. Scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. And even tap those toes onto the mat. Keeping those toes scrunched, so not necessarily the top of the feet, more so massaging the toes. And then we're going to tuck those toes under. Sending the right leg long. Leave the ball mount to the foot onto the mat. Rock the body back and forth. Ooh, big belly breaths. Rocking it back and forth, creating that heat. Then if it feels good, press back into the right heel. Pressing back, maybe you'd walk those hands forward so we could press a little harder. Breathe, opening up that foot, the Achilles heel. Maybe take a look back into that foot. Say thank you to it. Everywhere that you can feel the body right now, everything that feels tight, say thank you. Give it love, give it appreciation. Then when you're ready, guide that knee back into center. Top of the right foot rests onto the mat, hands back below shoulders. As we send the left leg long, ball mount to the foot onto the mat. Rock back and forth, big belly breaths. I don't know about you, but this is tight for me. Our feet, our stability, every step we take. Imagine if we thanked the body. We thanked the feet for every step we took. Every step. Maybe just today, think about all the steps you took this week. Then think this month, this year, our whole lives. Pressing back into that foot as it feels good. Maybe walking the hands more forward to get a deeper press. Breathe. Thank you, calves. Thank the back of the knee. Thank the hamstring. Thank the instep of the foot. Thank all of the toes. Even thank the little things like the toenails. And guiding that left knee back under the hip. Tops of both feet plant onto the mat. Lightly tap both feet onto the mat, the tops of the feet. This time the feet are soft, toes are relaxed. If the feet are feeling very tense right now, shake them out a little bit more. Rock them from side to side. If dissipating the heat feels better, tap the tops of the feet. So we then drop down onto the forearms, palms come back to touch. We're gonna roll out both ankles. Breathing, pulling the shoulder blades apart this time, lengthen from behind the ears. Notice the changes here. So we're not dumping down into the heart, we're lifting, we're lengthening. Rotate both ankles, maybe scrunch the toes in as you do. You could just paddle out the feet if you prefer. If you can find those circles, take them. 3 more breaths for these feet. They deserve it. We then bring the hands back to the mat, rest the top of the feet onto the mat. Knees come out wide, toes come to touch. Inhale, press the heart forward, open those hips. Exhale, child's pose. Tail guides back, press down into the mat. So that way it draws the shoulders down the spine. Slow, slow surrender. Third eye could rest on the mat. Breathe. Coming into what we call our Ujjayi breath. The rhythmic breath where the inhales are just as long as the exhales. Where we build that slight constriction to warm the throat, stimulate the thyroid, calm the mind. As we breathe in today's mantra. I am safe. I am loved. I am protected. Taking 2 slow breaths exactly as you are. Being gentle with yourself if the mind began to wander, as we stay closer to presence. Accepting and feeling yourself in your body in this moment on your mat. The bottom of that breath, inhale, slightly lift the head, just hover over the mat. Exhale, take the right ear to the mat. Lowering the right ear down onto the mat. Maybe make a little bit more space. As you let the head totally dead weight. Drop the shoulders. Maybe flop the arms a little bit more. Stay with your Ujjayi breath. Two more breaths here. Bottom of that exhale, inhale, slightly lift the head, bring the gaze back to center. Exhale, take the gaze to the right, take that left ear onto the mat, surrender the head, really let it go. Ask the body to get heavier. 2 more breaths. We're dropping in. The bottom of that final breath. Inhale, lift the gaze, bring it back to center. Exhale, rest the third eye. 2 more breaths into this child's pose. Really drop the belly, let everything flop. Take away the formality of the pose. The very bottom of that exhale, slightly lift the gaze as we press the body forward, press the hips down to the mat, keep the arms long, draw the shoulders down the spine, take the chin to the chest, gaze to the sky. Breathing deep, think about opening the front side body, lengthening the throat. 2 more breaths. So we slowly guide the head back into center, lengthening the crown. As we press the hips back towards a child's pose with the knees out wide, keeping the hands a little further forward, so not directly under the shoulders. Maybe a handprint or 2 ahead of. Making yourself a little space. Inhale, reach the right arm high up to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle, reaching the right arm under the left, slow surrender. Option to take the block under your head like a pillow or resting the ear onto the mat. We can keep the left hand in front of the face. You can press into that left hand for a twist. Thinking about inhaling to make more space lengthwise. And exhaling to bring it out. You can reach to the top of the mat if that feels good. You could guide the left hand around to the small of the back, reaching for the opposite hip crease. Whatever feels good for you. Take 2 valuable breaths. Let the breath work the best it can for you in these poses. So sometimes that means an exhale. If you find a lot of heaviness, let it out. One more full breath, all the way to the top. Fill those lungs. Let it out all the way to the bottom. Bring the left hand back in front of the face, press into it. Inhale, right arm reaches to the sky. Exhale, hand plants below the shoulders. Roll through those shoulders, little wiggles in the body. Coming back to center. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, thread the needle, guide that left hand under the right arm. Option to rest the ear, that left ear, onto a block or pillow, or you can let it fall down to the mat. Right hand can stay below the shoulder. You can press into it for a twist. You could reach it up to the top of the mat or around to the small of the back. Notice what your body craves. Inhale to make the spine longer. Exhale to twist and wring it out. 2 more intentional breaths. Visit your mantra. The bottom of your final exhale, right hand back below the shoulder. Inhale, unwind, left arm reaches to the sky. Exhale, plant both hands below the shoulders, tabletop, knees below hips, hands below shoulders. Inhale, cow, press the navel down, lift the chin up. Exhale, cat, ribs to the sky. Stay in cat. Keep the breath filling and emptying. Tucking that tailbone, chin into the chest. Try to bring the third eye to the heart. This is not meant to be easy. And one more inhale here. Exhale, drop the belly. Cow. Stay here. Hold the pose, not the breath. Inhaling into cow, exhaling into cow. Pressing the navel down. Think about lengthening the spine, the neck as well, and then guide the chin up to the sky. Flare the tail a little more. Press the belly down a little bit more. Maybe even lean the glutes back towards the heels. One more inhale. And then the exhale, cat. Lean the weight more forward towards the hands. We're going to stay with that rocking. Inhale, cow. Guide the tail back towards the heels. So lean back as you look up. Exhale, cat. Lean forward, shoulders over fingertips. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Finding a neutral spine, we're going to guide the right knee up towards the right wrist. Swinging the right foot as far to the left as feels good. So swinging that foot in line with the left knee. Opening the heart, we're going to inch the left leg long, coming into a variation of half pigeon. Now notice where you are at here. If this starts to put a lot of pressure on that right knee, offer a blocker blanket under the thigh, under the glutes. That means you give yourself something to sit on. If this still just feels like too much, I want you to tuck that right shin in line with the knee. Leaning back, bringing that right heel in line with the glute. Then slightly lean over, only until you feel it on the outside of that glute. The second that right knee starts to get cranky, back off. So we come into this half pigeon, finding your comfort. We're going to find some breaths and rocking. Tenting the fingers, draw the shoulders down and back, lengthen in the spine. Come back to Ujjayi Pranayama, draw the shoulders down and back, open. It's okay if this is intense, trust it. Inhale, get nice and tall. Exhale, slowly lower the heart as far as feels good. Inhale, roll it up, spine away. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, roll it up. You can have the hands flat too, whatever feels good. Exhale, round it forward. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, round it down. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Big one. Exhale. Now surrender down here if it feels good. Drop down to the forearms. You can rest the third eye on the block. If that still feels very intense, just walk the hands a little bit further forward so that way you can still surrender with a flat spine without maybe coming all the way down. Because we're not trying to get the third eye to the mat. I'm not trying to press my forehead in. It's about keeping the length so we keep room for the lungs. Breath is nice and deep. Just one more breath with me. You got this. Soft side to let it out. Hands back below shoulders. Pull the body forward. Left knee under the hip. Bringing that right knee back under the hip. Shift the hip side to side. Ooh, move that around. Notice the difference between the two sides. Notice how you feel it. Shaking it out as you need, and then bring the right knee in line up to the left knee, left wrist. Guiding that foot over to the side. Start inching that right leg long and back. Again, coming into this half pigeon shape. Taking support under the glutes or under the thigh. That means pillows, blankets, anything. Bring yourself something to full on sit on if that feels good. If you want a little bit less, or if you're seeing pressure, tension, striking pain in the knee, we do not want that. Please back off. Guiding the knee, the shin back in line with the knee. Leaning this as far to the side as feels good. So I need you to listen to your body. Take it as you need. Keeping the hips square. Again, we can tent the fingers, or we can leave the palms flat. with the breath. Inhale, get nice and tall, chin to the sky. Exhale, lower down and forward. Lightly tuck the chin. Inhale, roll it up, spine away. Exhale, press it forward, lean it down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Lift it up. Fill the lungs. Lift the chin. Exhale. Find your variation of a surrender. Guiding the shoulders down the back, keeping the length in the spine. So this could be down on the forearms, could be hands on your shoulders, hands could be just in front of the shoulders, keeping the length here. Again, this isn't about the rounding. We want to keep the breath deep. This pose is not what it needs to be without the breath. Take one more breath here with me. You got it. Softest eyes, stay here. As we then bring the hands below the shoulders, return to our tabletop. Shift the hips from side to side, move it around, send one leg long and then the other. As we spread the fingers wide, keep ourselves engaged. We're going to tuck the toes under. Just for a few moments, we're going to find a down dog to counterbalance. Tucking the toes under, take the tail high. Hands are shoulder distance, feet are shoulder distance. Hip distance, excuse me. Bend deep into one knee and straighten the other. So here's options. Inhale high on the toes. Lift the tail high. Press the chest a little closer to the feet. Exhale, bend into the right knee. Draw the left heel down to the mat. Stay with me. Inhale, lift both heels. Exhale, right heel comes down to the mat as we bend into the right knee. Trade off. Inhale, heels high. Exhale, bend into one knee. Inhale, both heels high. Exhale, bend into the opposite knee as you press that other heel down. Inhale, heels high. Exhale, switch. Stay with your breath. Together, inhale, both heels high. On the exhale, lower both heels down to the mat. Maybe walk the hands a little closer. Let the head hang heavy. One more breath into this down dog. All the way to the top. All the way to the bottom. So we come high on the toes. Tippy toe the feet halfway up to the center of the mat. Feet to hip distance, maybe a bit wider. Bend deep into the knees here. Bending generously into the knees, I want the belly resting onto the thighs. Now, if the belly cannot reach the thighs, if there's a gap there, bring blankets, pillows, blocks. I want you to feel supported. This is important, so I have built-in support. It's natural. Bending deep into those knees, resting the belly on the thighs. Inhale, find a half lift. Press into the fingertips, take the gaze forward. Exhale into a ragdoll fold. Hinge from the hips, one vertebrae at a time. Tailbone all the way to the crown. Decompress here. Now, if being upside down feels like a lot, this is an inversion. Bring the blocks under the hands. Keep that bend in the knees. So this is a lot more about decompressing the spine, a lot less about stretching the hamstrings. So if this is a lot on the hamstrings, bend deeper into the knees. Find more support under the hands. Lengthen in the spine. But wherever you are, the key here is to sigh it out. The more dramatic the breath, the more effective the pose. If this is great, reach your opposite elbows. If the neck is feeling scared or hesitant, guide the hands onto the forehead. Rest some of the weight of the head into the hands. Rock back and forth, side to side. There's no wrong way to be here, but I want you to breathe with me. I think it's important to stay here until you no longer want to leave. And when I say, I mean want to leave, not need to leave. There's a difference. You know your body. You can bend deep into one knee and straighten the other. Switch variations of you as you choose, and as you start to feel a little bit more open, a little bit more understanding, option to interlace the fingers behind the back, reach the fist up to the sky. Shake the head around, wiggle out the jaw. We're going to be here for a while longer. Take what variations you need. Trust the value in this. You want a nice stretch for the outside of the ankles. Bend deep into the left knee. Roll onto the roll onto the pinky edge of the right foot. So bending deeper into the left knee, we straighten into that right leg. Rolling onto the pinky edge of that foot, you'll get the outside of that ankle. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Breathe. Switching as your body feels necessary. Always take support under the hands if you need. 3 more breaths here. Make them dramatic. So you plant the hands back down on the mat. Slowly step it back to a down dog. 2 breaths in this down dog. Wiggle out the neck. Take an ear to the shoulder. And then lower back down to a tabletop. Make our way up towards the top of our mat. Shifting over onto the sit bones. Planting the feet flat in front of us. Oh my goodness, I forgot our massage. Just kidding. Come to an easy seat with me. Come to a comfortable seat. I just looked at the strap and I remembered we're doing a cool massage thing. Oh, it'll be perfect timing. Right after that down dog. Happy accidents, happy accidents. As you come into your Sukhasana, our easy seat, I need a block under my sit bones. Gives myself that little bit of height. Rotate the pelvis forward. Find length in the spine. Start to splay the knees out wide. Rock it back and forth. Come back into breath. As we then take our strap, we are going to find an excellent massage for the traction shoulder. So we're going to extend that strap long. One side of the strap we are going to stick under the left glute. So sit on your strap. So tuck it under the left glute. Sit on the edge of the strap. Not edge, but one end of the strap. Putting enough weight on it so then we can pull it back behind us. So we're going to take it over the left shoulder. So I want it over the left shoulder, close into the neck. Find that alignment. Once you get here, make sure you can get a good tug on it. That's the value. Bringing it in close to the neck crease. Pull the shoulders back, rest them down, lengthen from behind the ears, tucking that chin. Spine stays nice and long, both hands on the strap. Pull the strap forward in front of us. And then guide the strap down onto the chest. Keeping that tension on the strap, tucking that chin. We're going to take a nice big inhale. And the exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Open up. Feel free to rearrange that strap as you need. And as you keep that tension on the strap, we're actively pulling forward and down on the strap. Find half circles with the neck. So rocking the chin down towards the chest and the back of the head back. Big belly breaths here. This feels great. I hope you are enjoying. This is one of my favorites. Opening into that neck. Keep your eyes closed. Stay with your full and empty lungs. As you give this body the attention it deserves. Thanking the neck, thanking the shoulders. Finding organic movements. Maybe you want to find full circles here. Maybe you find yourself just wanting to take the gaze over to the right. You can then take the chin to the right shoulder. Close the eyes and let the body move you. Notice where you need it the most. Two more breaths here. Get everything you need from this. Leave behind what you find to no longer be serving you. The next inhalation, bring the head back to center. Slowly release the straps. Flip the palms up, tuck the elbows in. Close the eyes, take 2 breaths. Notice the difference between the 2 shoulders, the 2 side bodies. What side feels more stress? Where have we given proper attention to? So we then switch the sides, taking that strap under the left glute. Excuse me, right glute. Sitting onto that strap, guiding the strap behind and over the shoulder. Making sure we can get nice and tension on that, a lot of tension on that strap. We want to be able to pull it. Tucking the strap in kind of towards the neck crease. As we then pull the strap forward. Oh, draw the shoulders down and back, lengthen from behind the ears. Pulling that strap forward, then guiding the strap down. Breathing deep, opening the heart, shoulders stay stacked to keep the tension on that strap. So we inhale here. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Breathe, rock it back and forth, finding those half circles. And again, if you want to take this different, if you want to take the chin over the shoulder, looking left, up and down, close the eyes. Your body will guide you, I promise. The key is to accept, not resist. Embrace and cherish. Treating this body with love, with grace, with compassion. Stay with your mantra. Two more breaths here. Gather everything your body needs. Leave behind what it doesn't. Bottom of that final breath, inhaling the head back to center. Exhaling to release the strap. Tuck the elbows in, flip the palms up, draw the shoulders down and back. 2 deep breaths. Inhaling for nourishment. Exhaling for softness, for surrender and release. So we then send the feet flat in front of us. We want our blocks within reach. So bring those feet in front of us, both blocks within reach, strap within reach. We're going down on the back. Setting everything up nearby. Tuck the hands behind the knees, draw the shoulders down and back. Inhale to lift the heart up. Thank your body. We love this. Exhale, slowly lower down, 1 vertebrae at a time. All the way flat onto the back. Walk the feet up close to the glutes. We're taking the strap over the knees. Hug the knees in. Draw the shoulders down to the mat. Tuck the elbows in. Tuck the chin. Head is heavy. Trying to keep those elbows in towards the sides. That's why we use the strap. Because then we want to hug those knees in. Roll out those ankles. Scrunch and flex the feet. Bringing energy into the ankles, energy into our stability and our structure. Use the strap to then rock the knees back and forth. Pulling the knees in towards the ribs. Inhaling to let the knees guide down towards the bottom of your mat. Exhaling all of that air out for a modified wind-removing pose. Pull the knees in. Inhaling the knees down towards the bottom. Massaging the sacrum, massaging the SI joints, the piriformis, the glutes. Turn those movements into circles. Guide the knees around in every direction. Massage the glutes. Massaging that sacrum, switch directions when you need. Our sacrum is kind of our second heart, if you will. Holds a lot of our hurt, a lot of our sadness. But the more we break it up, the more we release that stagnant energy, the more the heart will be open to receiving love, receiving affection, receiving your own gratitude. One more breath, come back to center. So you slowly lower the feet down to the mat, release the strap down to the side. Feet come out wide to the very edges of the mat. Flex into both feet, hands onto belly, windshield wiper the knees, let them fall from side to side. Opening, thanking, loving these hips, cherishing these hips. Knees come back into center. As we then send the legs long as we set ourselves up for our heart opener, our grand heart opener, our supported fish. So we bring the blocks to that T shape, having that space in between. Coming into this specifically, guiding that long block along the spine, starting right in the center of the spine. Lowering down one vertebrae at a time. Take your time to get here. Other block comes under the head. Just take a few moments to breathe. Hands could be on the belly if this is scary, down onto the mat. If this is a lot, you could also bring the feet closer to the glutes. Big belly breaths. Trust yourself here. Allow yourself to be here. It's okay. Come back to your mantra. As you soften into this a little more, remembering we could cactus the arms if that feels good. You could send the arms up overhead. You could reach for opposite elbows overhead. Breathe wherever you are. Once you feel like you can take those full belly breaths once again, that's the time when you can change variations. So find sustainability first in the filling of the lungs and the softness of the ribs. Once you have found that breath, if you find the variation with the arms you love, you're always welcome to come to a Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of the feet to touch, butterfly the knees, continuing to surrender. And as this starts to feel good, feel free to adjust. You can, that block that is along the spine, you can inch it up one vertebrae at a time, bring it a little bit higher. Any space that feels good. Play around with this. Trust it. Breathe with it. Movement or stillness. We're going to take 3 more generous breaths here. All the way to the top and all the way to the bottom. Option to stay here if you would like. You're welcome to stay here longer as we ease into our Shavasana. If you'd like to spend either your entire Shavasana this way or just part of it, you can stay here as long as you would like. If and when you are ready to exit, I want you to take one elbow down to the mat, leaning onto that elbow, then leaning to one side, removing your support. Removing your support and then lowering down one vertebrae at a time. You have to be gentle with yourself. Taking 3 more breaths wherever you are, intentional full breaths. On the bottom of that final exhale. One more inhale all the way to the top, taking one extra sip when you get to the top. And then sigh it out. As you find your final resting pose, your slowest state of being. As you reset your resonance and completely let go. Slowly begin inhaling deep. Softly releasing your exhales as you move each one of the fingers. Tuck it all the way in, make a small fist, open the hands, spread the fingers wide, wiggle the fingers all the way around. Wiggling each of the toes, spread the pinky toes, spread the big toe, wiggle all of the toes around, roll out the ankles, roll out the wrists. You then reach the arms up overhead like a new morning stretch. Point the toes, arch the back. Bring it all in. Roll onto your preferred side in a supported fetal position. A quote from S. Anjna. The sun is a daily reminder that we too can rise again from the darkness, that we too can shine our own light. Thanking yourself for showing up today, press yourself up into a comfortable seat. Find a space where you and I can share a single breath together. Rubbing the palms together, creating that friction and warmth. Bring that warmth and love then into heart center. Empty the lungs. Together, let's pull in a slow, deep, mindful inhale. Fill it up to the top and hold it. Bring in a little bit more. A little bit more. One more sip. Then let's let it go. Loka samasta Sukhi no bhavantu. May your entire universe be filled with peace, joy, love, and light. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope your heart feels open. I hope you feel ready to receive all the love that this world has to give to you. All the love this world has to offer, because you deserve it. You deserve every single last drop of love. I love that you were here with me. Thank you so much, and I look so forward to seeing you next time. Mwah.